Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAHAWAH, stubborn to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And a sincere shalom to the icon that's out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. Really quick video. I've seen this guy's videos. I'm sure most of YouTube pretty much knows this guy. But he goes around and eats a bunch of, you know, stuff from restaurants and stuff like that. But the video is not just technically about on him, but it's about Jake in general, as how we're looked at, This guy, like I said, he goes around, he eats a whole, assortment of things. You make your money, but this is you leave it to Jake to sit in the car with an entire lobster and just devour it, man. Leave it to Jake to sit up there and record himself and record himself eating an entire lobster, right? An entire lobster in his in his car, you know. Like I said, man, the Lord has really destroyed us. We are really gone, man. You know, back in our ancient traditions, you would not see us eat that. In fact, we would give it to the garbage disposals, and the garbage disposals that I'm talking about are these heathens. These heathens would eat stuff like that, right? Anything that's abominable and anything like that, we threw that out to the heathens, man. Cause the heathens are dogs. Worse than the Lord and dogs, man. You know, they're just garbage disposals. They eat whatever is thrown at them, right? This is why when heathens eat that stuff, they don't get messed up. When Jake eats that stuff, we get all messed up, man. There's a reason for that because we're not supposed to be eating that crap. Okay. Romans chapter 1 verse 26. It says, "For this cause God gave them up to vile affections." Yeah, Yahweh has given us up to vile affections. Part of those vile affections is this food. The food that we eat. Our diets, which is horrible. Absolutely, it's just horrible, right? Eating abominable foods that that us as Israelites are not supposed to be eating, right? Those are part of the Salaki. Those are part of the vile affections, okay? For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature, right? So all of us, you know, we are we have been changed against nature. We are not one with the earth. We're not connected with the earth. In fact, we are even further away from it. We're not following land. So you can think this double Esau Edom, man, right? We're not following land Sabbaths, right? We're not doing anything that preserves the earth. We're doing everything against the earth. Everything, right? You go to the hoods, nothing but trash. It's ridiculous. But like I said, you could think this double Esau Edom for that though, right? Um, Another scripture, Deuteronomy 28:27. It says, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee." Okay, so you'll be going to be an astonishment. And then when you look at it, let's look at this word astonishment real quick. Like I said, this may be the last scripture of this video. Really short. Not very much to say about it. We've I didn't mean to do that. We've done numerous videos on stuff like this. Waste, horror, appallment, right? So when you look at this, you know, we have become wasteful. We have become like unto waste. We're eating waste pretty much. Because when you eat lobster, when you eat crabs or anything that cleans up, you're eating whatever it's cleaning up, right? So so-called bottom feeders and stuff like that. When you eat that stuff, you're eating whatever is whatever that thing eats. This is why you're not supposed to eat. This is for our health. Everybody keeps talking about, when Muslims say they don't eat pork, you ask them why they don't eat pork, and they'll just tell you, well, Quran says it's not you're not supposed to, but it's just like why, why aren't you supposed to eat pork? Is it deeper than just what the Quran says, or You know, for what? What's the problem with pork? Right? Why aren't you supposed to eat pork? It's for your health. That's why. See, so when we as Israelites are out there standing on the highways and byways, and we tell the people stop eating, stop eating this stuff. They'll tell you, they'll ask why. Well, number one, it's just against our bodies. We cannot handle that stuff. Because we are supposed to be clean. Again, this is why this stuff messes us up. While those people like the Chinese people, even Edomites, they can eat a lot of this stuff, man, right? And it doesn't really mess with them. But when it comes to Jake, that totally comes to show you that even we are different. We are different. We're made different, right? We're made different, right? So when you look at this guy, it's a waste, it's a horror, and it's an appallment. Like I said, yeah, it only makes sense that we're looked at as waste because we're eating it. We're eating the waste. We're eating whatever this thing ate is what he's eating right now. Right? Whatever it is this thing ate, right, is what he's eating. And their job is to keep our oceans clean. That can't be good if you're eating that. Because number one, you're taking the cleanup away out of the ocean. And then number two, again, you're eating whatever this thing ate. That's polluting the ocean. That's polluting our world. We have become the pollution. Right? We have become the pollution. Right? Um, so we got that word. We become a proverb, a byword among all nations, right? Against right, Salakia, among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee, right? So we're always looked at like this spectacle, and we are. I mean, even amongst us with these other Israelite groups, GMS is looked at as a spectacle, right? But we look at these other Israelite groups as a huge astonishment, all right? But again, vice versa, they look at us as the astonishment, right? So Israel right now will always be just a circus. When you think of a so-called Negro, a Latino, and a Native American, you're thinking of a circus right now, man. That's all it is right now. Is just one big circus. They're they're just waste. So that's pretty much all I got on this. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, Shalom.